Rausch Games!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to NXT in Chicago, Illinois. We're leading off with a one-fall match. We've got the Godfather versus Primo, but Primo wasting no time running down the ramp and attacking the Godfather from behind. This match is going to get underway before they even make it into the ring, apparently. And Primo and the Godfather definitely going at it outside. Godfather up, shaking off the cobwebs from the early attack and taking that strength advantage over the much smaller Primo, but these guys don't like each other too much. They're both former champions here in NXT. They're both champions that were very recently dethroned in some pretty crappy ways. So you really you can't blame either of them. Pardon the Xbox Live notification there, por favor. If you are Danny Moose, welcome. Thanks for another cameo. Well, keep in mind the bell has not rung on this match yet. We've got Primo and the Godfather still outside of the ring. None of them have made their way into the ring yet, but they are content to just beat the ever-living crap out of each other using all the floor of the arena to their advantage for that, essentially. The Godfather just tossing Primo around like he's a rag doll. Throws him right into the corner near the barricade, but Primo manages to reverse and get him into a headlock. And he twists around with a big-time Hurricane Rana. Godfather's neck definitely looks a little wrenched after that one. Primo looking to take control now here, but the Godfather's back up with a nice big punch. And a huge belly-to-belly suplex into the crowd barricade. Primo's not going to be able to hang with Godfather much longer if that kind of stuff keeps happening. That is just too much of a strength and size advantage on the part of the big man, formerly known as Papa Shango. Now the Godfather working from behind. Primo reversing out, still on the floor of the arena. The ref waiting impatiently inside the ring. But there's Primo launching Godfather face first into the ring post. Hits him off of it one more time and then rolls him into the ring. But then Primo stands outside and stretches. And the Godfather leaving the ring again. Huge double axe handle. Gets Primo right in the crown of the head and they're back outside. The match still has not started. Godfather with a drop to his knees jawbreaker. Followed by a huge clothesline. Primo down. Now he's working on a surfboard stretch along the outside there. But Primo easily reverses out of that. And they're back up. We have a collar and elbow on the floor of the arena right now, right by the front row ticket holder barricade. And there's Primo hurling the Godfather into the ring, and he goes after him but misses. Godfather up. Oh, and now they're both in the ring. There we go. The bell's officially rung. The match is underway. You got to think it's going to be pretty close to ending at this point, though. And there's Godfather taking control again, just throwing the much smaller Primo around. And there we go. And a full Nelson slam right there. Primo down on his back. Godfather misses a clothesline from behind, though. Still regains control. Now Primo working from a side headlock. And there's a big spinning heel kick right to the jaw of the Godfather, sending him down. Primo still up, sizing up the opponent, looking for a game plan here. But Godfather up with a big toe kick right to the gut. Primo wrenching the arm around, trying to take control again. Godfather wrenching around his own, pushing Primo away. Reset. Looking for a clothesline, but Primo reverses into a Frankensteiner and then a nice flipping leg drop. Primo wasting some time, though, before kicking Godfather in the small of the back. He's being a bit too methodical, taking on somebody twice his size. Now they're outside of the ring. Godfather misses a double axe handle that time. Primo dismantling the table. Announcers better get out of there. They're brawling right next to it. And there's Godfather with an arm wrench right next to the table into a leg sweep of sorts. And he's kicking Primo while he's down on the floor of the arena again. The ref is counting inside that ring. And Primo with another Frankensteiner right next to the table. There are chairs flying around. Godfather just pushes Primo down. This is an out-and-out brawl. They hate each other. Primo raking the eyes before getting up. And then he's going to fly back into the ring. Godfather close behind. The table still stands. And now back in the ring. Primo with unbelievable strength. Scoop slam on the Godfather. Leaps to the apron. He's going to climb the turnbuckle now. And we've got a backflip twisting somersault, but he misses the landing. His ass hits the ring just above Godfather's head. But he gets up with a flipping leg drop. Godfather with some overhand clubs now, looking to take control. He's got a little bit of momentum behind those punches. And he's got Primo up on his right shoulder once again. And there's another huge toss all the way across the ring into the corner. And now he's stomping on him. And now Godfather coming off the ropes. There it is. We know what this is going to be. The big-time leg drop from the Godfather. He's on a roll. He's got the crowd behind him now. And there it is. He's dancing. He's got the Ho Train maneuver going. The crowd knows what's coming up next. Primo is on his feet, but he is as good as napping right now. And Godfather's got him up on both shoulders. There it is. The pimp drop. The pimp drop it is. Godfather's got Primo down. He's going to drag him toward the center of the ring. We could have a match here. Just a 1 count. Primo kicks out despite his comatose state. And now Primo with a big running Hurricane Rana launches Godfather by the neck across the ring himself. Goes to pick him up, but Godfather pushes out and then pushes down Primo. And now Godfather, he's got him in a crab. No. Primo gets to the ropes. Another overhand club there. The strong man looking to just break the sternum of the much smaller Primo here. And Primo again raking the eyes of Godfather. Dirty tactics, but he's getting away. He's getting away from the big man. Now Primo working from behind. Oh, big twisting spike DDT, and the Godfather goes forehead first into the mat. That could be enough to knock him out. It was just a 1 count, though, and the Godfather kicks out of the pinfall. And they are working against each other again. Primo from behind. Another big twisting spike DDT, and now the Godfather is busted wide open. Oh, and there's a big rope-assisted splash from the apron. Primo taking control here. Both men are starting to look a little hurt, though, considering the brawl they had before the match even started. Now Godfather staggered in the ring. Primo working from twisting the arm around here. And he's going to throw Godfather. Nope, bring him right back into a knee to the gut. But Godfather's up and hits Primo with a nice big clothesline. And he's down. And he's just got him by the back of the head and he's punching. And now Primo himself is busted wide open as well. Godfather picking him up, but Primo punches out of that, reversing. And there's another big Hurricane Rana, sending Godfather literally into the ropes along the outside of the ring. Some serious rope burn going on there. And another big athletic DDT from Primo. He is working on the head of the Godfather now, but Primo himself is favoring his own midsection. This is getting a little tough here. That brawl took a little too much out of both of them. But Godfather again, strength is advantage, pushing Primo down. Primo again, poking him in the eyes. Godfather could go blind from this match, ladies and gentlemen. And there's Primo from behind, club to the back. Now, that's how you throw a club. That is how you throw a club, little man. And Primo working from behind here now. And he's going to bring the Godfather back in. There's a big-time running Frankensteiner there from Primo. And he's picking Godfather up. Looks like he's going to throw him again. Out to the ring apron. Now what's Primo's game plan here? Oh, he brings him back in. Amazing strength. Throws him right over the ropes into the ring. And there's another kick to the small of the back of the Godfather. And now Primo working on the armbar. Wrenching on it. Lets go though. Doesn't hold it on Godfather. That could have been it right there. And there's another big Frankensteiner. And this is into a pinfall. 1, 2... Oh, 2 count, but the Godfather still manages to kick out despite blood pouring from a nice big gash in his forehead. Now Godfather up, Primo down. Primo reverses with another rake to the face of the Godfather there. But then the Godfather reverses an Irish whip and throws Primo into the corner and follows him with a huge clothesline into the corner. And the Godfather once again dancing. This could be another pimp drop, ladies and gentlemen. Primo looked to have this thing wrapped up for a minute there, but Godfather now with Primo staggered, just turn around. This is going to be it. He's got him up on his shoulders. We've got another pimp drop coming in the corner, and there it is, pimp drop. Primo is down in the center of the ring. 1, 2, 3. The Godfather wins. Grudge match between the two. He overcomes a sneaky attack from Primo and way too many pokes to the eye, and he puts the big man down, and Primo, the once mighty NXT champion, once the tag team champion of NXT, just continues his losing ways here as the Godfather looks to be chasing either the NXT title or the Internet Championship to get himself a call up to the main roster sometime in the near future. And he's not going to let a sneaky little rat like Primo derail his plans. So Godfather victorious here to open the show in Chicago. We will be right back with our next match of the evening. And this is an important word from Rausch Games. Yeah, I can't find my notebook that has the listing of the matches from a missing Raw show, so I can't even give you the outcome of that night here. But yeah, we'll get to it when we get a chance to. We're just skipping ahead in the future. You didn't miss anything. No Bret Hart, no CM Punk, no Brock Lesnar. The most important thing that happened that night was the tag team match between the Road Warriors and the Acolytes, and the Road Warriors won. So everything else was dumb. You know, both Hardy Boys lost. Kofi Kingston won a match, and he was a heel. Whatever. And we're back going into our second match of the evening. We've got Epico now, Primo's tag team partner versus Mark Henry, and Mark Henry attacking Epico before this match starts, and they're going to brawl outside of the ring. Is that a little bit of revenge for the attack on the Godfather just now? Could Mark Henry and the Godfather be reuniting to form the new Nation of Domination? Or is Mark Henry just a complete badass that likes to pick on people that are much smaller than him? Either way, brawling outside of the ring before the bell rings in this match. We've got Mark Henry with a pump handle slam there on Epico, and he's got complete control. I mean, we talked about a size advantage a few moments ago with the Godfather versus Primo. Epico is the same size as his cousin Primo, and Mark Henry is at least 1.5 times the size of the Godfather. So this is a bit overmatched here, and you have to think maybe General Manager Stephanie McMahon's booking is a bit askew, especially considering the run-ins we're having so far this evening. But Epico climbing the turnbuckle, trying to use an aerial attack to take out the big man, but he just dives face first to the floor of the arena. Oh my god, he landed with his mouth, not even his arms. And he is completely dazed already. And there's Mark Henry. He's got him up on his shoulders. Oh, and there is a big faceplant drop from the shoulder right there. He's still staggered. But Epico actually reverses and throws Henry into the ring. And Epico with a big elbow to the crown of Mark Henry's head. Now both men are in the ring. And we've got a match, ladies and gentlemen. The bell is rung. Mark Henry, big tilt-a-whirl side slam there. And he is going to stomp on Epico while he's down. Epico trying a flying clothesline. Henry now propped up against the ropes. Epico working the leg into the ropes, and he's stretching it around. This is a bit of a submission hold from Epico and Mark Henry. That's how you take a big man down. But Henry reverses out. And another tilt-a-whirl side slam. One of the most impressive strongman moves I have ever seen. Every time I see it. Now Henry walking out and oh my god, Epico completely misses a flying body splash to the outside. Henry dismantling the table that we put back together during the break, taking the cover off of it again, trying to make it easier to break through, and Epico almost put himself through it, but now outside of the ring, Epico reverses a punch and Henry throws him back into the ring, and he's got him by the throat. He's choking him on the ring apron, and he lets go, and now Henry is Henry is going to come back into the ring as Epico struggles to his feet. Now Henry working from behind on Epico, and he's got him by the knee there, and that's an inverted atomic drop right down onto the left leg. All the impact of the entire body's weight on one knee. Not a good move at all. And we've got a single leg Boston Crab applied, but Epico gets into the ropes there, and Henry is dominant. But there's Epico coming up with a flying clothesline. Henry reverses a punch into his own. Now he's got his own overhand club. Shades of the Godfather a few moments ago. Strong versus tiny. And he slaps the arm away and reverses out, but now Epico working on a side headlock there. There's a big elbow to the jaw, and he's got a punch, but Henry reverses out, getting himself off the ropes. Now Epico working from behind. Russian leg sweep, bringing the big man down. That is a lot of man to bring down to the mat with you. Epico's got to keep doing that, though. Keep working on the legs. They are the weakness of Mark Henry. He can squat, sure, but his calves, his ankles, there is weakness. They're under a big center of gravity, and they are easy to take apart. Epico gets out of a surfboard stretch, and there's another big flying forearm slash clothesline from Epico, knocking the big man down, but he mocks him while he's down, and Henry uses that to his advantage, getting up. Now Epico working from the side. Drop toe hold on the big man, sending him face first into the mat. And now Epico with a snapmare into a punch to the head on the mat. Nice athletic combination right there. Now Epico leaping up toward the top. Oh, and he completely dives into a power slam from Mark Henry. Unbelievable. And Henry now just lifting Epico off the mat. But Epico throws Henry out over the ropes to the apron, and he hits him with a shoulder block, and Henry's down. And there's Epico with another flying splash. This time he gets it, landing right on Henry on the floor of the arena. 1 for 3, not bad from Epico, who's now taking complete control. But Henry kicks him down and picks him up, and now Epico is staggered. And Henry is going to throw him back into the ring. Powerful throw, sending him to the center of the ring. Epico hit his quad on the way in there. And now Henry working from the arm, wrenching it around. A little bit of an arm breaker to the knee of Mark Henry. Henry lifting Epico up. And he brings him back to the ropes. There's another big-time power slam from Mark Henry. And he just picks him up by the neck. And he's going to send him into the ropes across the ring. But they bounce off of each other and reset. And then there's Epico with a big-time flipping neck breaker. And he's signaling to the crowd. He's bringing Mark Henry up to his feet. Henry is staggered. Epico's got something big going on. Oh my god, there it is, the backstabber. 1. Just a 1 count. Mark Henry kicks out after Epico hits a signature move there. And now Henry throws Epico out of the ring toward the vulnerable table. He immediately slides out after him. We know what the big man is thinking here. And he picks him up by his neck again. Epico is completely staggered. Henry leading him up against the table, throwing him onto the table. Get out of there! Henry on top of the table with him. I don't know how the table's standing now. And there it is. There it is. No, no, no. We got a world's strongest slam on top of the table. Through the table. Epico has been plastered through the table by Mark Henry. World's strongest slam. If he gets up and walks away from this, it is a human miracle. The body is not supposed to withstand that kind of punishment. It's like getting hit by a U-Haul truck in a 6-lane highway. And now Henry, not done yet, throwing Epico across the floor of the arena. And now he's kind of jogging / waddling back into the ring to beat the referee's count. And now Epico, he's up. He's favoring his midsection, but he's just staring at the ring right now. He's okay, he's back in. We reset the clock there. And Epico coming at him with a flipping neck breaker. He's not completely dead yet. He jumps up top, and he hits a leg drop right across the neck of Mark Henry. And now he's stomping. He is somehow fired up after that world's strongest slam. Mark Henry just should have walked away from that. That should have been a KO, but Epico is up, and he's back in control in the ring. And there's another big Russian leg sweep to Mark Henry. We could have a comeback here from Epico. We've got a pin. 1. Just a 1 count. Mark Henry kicks out. And Epico goes for a flying forearm, but Henry reverses it right into a tilt-a-whirl side slam. 1. That was just a 1 count from Mark Henry to Epico there. And now Epico, some punches and a chop, working in control of Mark Henry, twisting the arm around. And they offset. Henry reverses a punch and then starts working from behind on Epico, twisting his arm around. Epico reverses. Side headlock now. Oh, and there's a big headbutt to the face. Into an elbow drop. Henry is down on the mat. Epico just looks dazed. He can't figure out what his next move is supposed to be. Henry is up, and there we go. We've got the overhand clubbing. And another tilt-a-whirl side slam. Epico keeps trying to run at Mark Henry, but Henry is waiting for it every time. Pinfall. Whoa, not even a 1 count before Epico kicks out. The damage from that amazing world's strongest slam through the table seems to have worn off as Epico with a big-time drop kick sends Mark Henry into a staggered state, but Epico continues to just stare at him. Flying forearm, knocking Mark Henry to the mat. Epico lifting him up, but Mark Henry punches his way out of that, runs at him, goes for a shoulder tackle, but Epico into a huge hip toss. Oh, Henry rakes the face of Epico. And he's got him head between the legs here. Oh my God, it's a huge power bomb. Epico just slammed into the ring there. And a stomp to the hamstring by Mark Henry. And now Henry rolling him over. And there's a big knee slam. He's working on the legs of Epico. He's not going to let him get up to the turnbuckle anymore. And now Henry is taking a little bit of a breather here, staring at him. Epico uses the time wisely and rolls out of the ring. Henry follows. Epico from behind. Henry into a snapmare there. Reverses right out. And another big-time tilt-a-whirl side slam from Mark Henry. Epico, stop running. You're too slow. He's going to catch you. He's got his head between his legs again. No, not outside. There's another big-time powerbomb from Mark Henry to Epico. Epico is done. He's staggered outside of the ring. Henry violently throwing him back up into the ring and then following. He's going to drag him into the center of the ring. This could be a pinfall, and Epico could be done. That was 2 powerbombs in close succession. 1, 2, 3. Mark Henry beats Epico in a knockdown, drag-out brawl between the two. Epico just got a little too crazy with the aerial moves, and there is that world's strongest slam through the table, which we are going to have to put together in this commercial break again. Ring techs already making their way down to the ring with rolls of duct tape, as we do here on NXT. Not exactly the most well-funded minor league wrestling show in the world. And then this is it right here, the powerbomb that ultimately did it right after 1 in the ring. I mean, that was just all about Mark Henry's strength. And you got to know that Mark Henry's still not happy about being sent down here from SmackDown just over a year ago. So he's going to do everything he can to get out of here. And there, wait, Epico not getting out of his own accord. That last powerbomb looks to have done some serious damage. He's being pulled out in a stretcher. But wait, Henry passing the EMTs, and he's wailing on Epico, and he throws him out of the stretcher. He's already hurt. Leave the man alone. Come on, Henry. Come on. Don't stop on him while he's down. Oh, man. Either way, moving into our third match of the evening, we'll have a 1 fall between Grandmaster Sexay and NXT Tag Team Champion Jimmy Uso. Here is the Grandmaster making his way out, and Well, Jimmy is a double champion. I purposefully gave the minor championship first because, as we know, he is currently our NXT World Champion as well. The most prestigious title here in NXT, making him the most sought-after superstar at everybody's list. And he and Grandmaster Sexay, not a long track record for liking each other. It stems to the fact that Rikishi, the father of Jimmy and Jey Uso, would rather be in a stable with Too Cool and John Cena. So it's kind of turned Jimmy into this little, I gotta prove myself to my daddy bad guy. And here he is, faking a handshake, and while Sexay's distracted, he kicks him in the gut. And we still have no ring call from the ref. There's the ring call. Jimmy got a little bit of a head start there because of that kick to the gut. But this whole thing with Too Cool and the Usos and Rikishi would rather be friends with John Cena and, Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty 2 Hotty than mentor his own sons, where his sons feel like John Cena could easily stay with Too Cool and do his thing, and Rikishi could come hang out with the Usos. But it's been a point of contention. And while Jay has typically been the more sympathetic, saying, my dad can do whatever he wants, Jimmy has taken on this crusade basically against his own father and anybody he hangs out with. And here in NXT, that is the tag team of Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty 2 Hotty. They do not like each other, and this is a grudge match here. It is a non-title match. We have to point that out for you. Grandmaster Sexay has not earned a shot at the NXT Championship. He has just earned a shot at Jimmy Uso's wrath. Now, Uso putting Sexay up on top of the turnbuckle, and he punches him to the face, and this looks like it could be a huge move. He's setting him up for a superplex way off the bat. There it is, right down to the ring. Grandmaster Sexay, unbelievable impact. Jimmy Uso trying to get the crowd behind him, but frankly, the crowd not really having it. They prefer a different NXT champion. And here's Grandmaster Sexay into a surfboard stretch. Uso trying to kick his way out. He kind of looks like a giant man-child right now, but he reverses with a backwards headbutt. And he runs at Grandmaster Sexay with a huge running DDT there. And now he throws himself up on top of the turnbuckle. And a huge diving headbutt from the Samoan superstar. But there's Sexay with an enziguri, and he props him right up against the ropes. Uso throws him outside of the ring, though, and launches himself off the ropes. Diving splash! Amazing! Great sequence there. He misses an elbow drop as Sexay gets up into a swinging neckbreaker. They're on the floor of the arena. There's that table we put together last time in between the commercial break. But Sexay reverses a flying forearm into a power slam. We just saw that from Mark Henry. And there's Uso working from behind. Grandmaster Sexay now staggered. Uso going over to the announcer's table, taking the cover off. That table has seen enough action tonight. Leave it alone. And Sexay into another power slam. Uso trying to run at him again. The NXT champion now out at the bottom of the ring. Sexay, though, comes out and falls right into a back suplex from him. And now Uso working punches into a nice backwards kick there. Sexay is staggered, but he reverses out. And now he's working, twisting the arm of Jimmy Uso around. Grandmaster Sexay throws Uso up onto the ring apron. And he gets him with a nice big elbow to the face. And now Sexay slides right back in. The ref stops counting. But Uso with a punch gets Sexay right up against the ropes. Throws him across the ring. Jumps over him. Jumps over him again. Huge athleticism into a big-time European uppercut. Sexay ran right into it. Uso set it up the whole way. And he's stomping on him while he's down. And he throws him into the ropes across the ring now. He misses an enziguri there. Sexay hitches himself on the ropes over there. And there's a flying forearm from Jimmy Uso trying to take control again into an elbow drop. And there's a big super kick right to the face of Grandmaster Sexay. The biggest momentum-changing maneuver in WWE history is the super kick right there, popularized by Shawn Michaels. But it doesn't keep Sexay down for long as he gets another power slam against the running Jimmy Uso. Uso, though, reversing an enziguri into a back body drop, and he's signaling for Grandmaster Sexay to get up. He's pumping himself up. Some of the crowd's behind him here. Instead, he throws Sexay into the corner, and he's going to put him up on top of the turnbuckle again. He climbs up after him. There's another punch to the face. This could be another superplex. We've seen this moments ago. And there it is. Sexay again, victim to a gigantic maneuver from the top of the turnbuckle. Uso getting the crowd behind him again, proving he is the champion for a reason here, taking complete control. Another super kick, this one to the gut. And there's an inverted Russian leg sweep, sending Grandmaster Sexay face first into the mat. And now Uso throws Sexay to the ring apron, and he's wailing on him with punches, trying to knock him off. But Grandmaster Sexay makes his way back in. Reverses out of a headlock, and he's working from behind. Turns him around, and there's a big club to the chest, sending Jimmy Uso down to the mat. And there we go, Grandmaster Sexay whipping Uso to the ring apron now. And he hits him with a shoulder block right to the gut. Flips around, sunset flip, power bomb to the outside of the arena. Jimmy Uso staggered, but he reverses out. He was playing possum. Now Grandmaster Sexay dizzy. Jimmy Uso full Nelson on the outside. But Grandmaster Sexay looks, yes, there it is. He reverses his way out of that. And he's now working from behind on Jimmy Uso. And he throws him up against the table. Uso now throws him up on top of the table. Club to the chest. And now Uso is up on top. Are we going to have this happen again? Get out of the way! And there's a DDT from Jimmy Uso to Grandmaster right through the table face first. He's bleeding, he's bloody, and he looks like he is completely unconscious on top of that table now. We just had a potentially serious injury to Epico a moment ago because of this stuff. And now, look at him. Grandmaster Sexay is completely immobile outside of the ring. The ref is counting. There he is. Grandmaster's up. He's moving slow, but he was definitely unconscious for a second there. That could be a concussion. That is a concussion. That is a concussion. Another super kick from Jimmy Uso, knocking him right down to the mat. Elbow drop to the shin. We've got a pinfall, but Grandmaster kicks right out. But there's Uso with the Uso Samoan drop, throwing him up in the air and catching him on his shoulders. This has to be the match here. I'm pretty sure Grandmaster Sexay has a concussion right now. And Jimmy Uso dragging him towards the center of the ring, away from those ropes. We got a 1, 2, 3. NXT champion, tag team champion Jimmy Uso defeats Grandmaster Sexay by pinfall after a crazy DDT through the announcer's table. And I don't think duct tape is going to work this time. I think we're going to need to move up to the super glue during this commercial break, because that table is not going to last through the rest of this evening otherwise. Great match from the NXT champion, showing he holds the belt for a very specific reason. And if he keeps this up, he could find himself up in the main WWE roster anytime this year. And there was that big Uso Samoan drop that led to the pinfall. Jimmy Uso emerging victorious. And you have to know he feels good about it. Strutting around the ring. Crowd not exactly the happiest that Jimmy Uso has been on a tear recently. They don't like the way he's handling the situation with his father, but regardless, the champion is victorious tonight in Chicago. And in our fourth match of the evening, something of a grudge match, we've got Chainsaw Charlie taking on Drew McIntyre in a one fall. And again, we've got a run-in as Drew McIntyre attacks Chainsaw Charlie on the ramp before the bell can be rung. Stephanie McMahon needs to step up security here in the NXT arena. This can't keep happening before matches. It's leading to unfair outcomes. Now, Drew McIntyre has a reason to attack Chainsaw Charlie. Chainsaw Charlie beat him fair and square last week on NXT in a one-fall match. And Chainsaw, he's been on a tear himself. He spent several months of this year taking on the giants on the NXT roster in Mark Henry and the Great Khali, and proving that even though he's older, he's kind of the senior spokesman around here, he can still wrestle, and he won a lot of those matches and put himself up the card. So when Drew McIntyre lost his NXT championship to Jimmy Uso, his first match coming back was against a mystery opponent, and that happened to be Chainsaw Charlie, who beat him in what some people consider a fluke a week ago, but Chainsaw considers a pretty run-of-the-mill victory that he expected the whole way, and Drew McIntyre considers an abomination that needs to be stricken from all major professional wrestling records so that he can get his career back on track and hopefully take back his title from Jimmy Uso, who we just saw not defend that title, but defend his honor in some pretty impressive fashion against Grandmaster Sexay. So in a night full of injuries, you've got a hardcore wrestler like Chainsaw Charlie coming out in a grudge match. You have to think something terrible is going to happen here, as Charlie is in control early on, working his typical jabs. But there's Drew McIntyre reversing out into a twisted arm lock, flipping him over his shoulder, but Chainsaw gets in the ropes. We carry on. Chainsaw now working side headlock, kick to the gut, clubbing him to the back, and then a clothesline to the back of the head, knocking McIntyre down. We've had Epico taken out of the arena in a stretcher this evening. No word yet on his condition, happening right after multiple power bombs from Mark Henry. We have Grandmaster Sexay being tested for a concussion right now after a DDT through the announcer's table left him unconscious for a set period of time. And now tonight, here in our fourth match of the evening, we've got Chainsaw Charlie, a man who spent his entire career wrestling in barbed wire and C4 explosives, taking on the much younger and much less hardcore Drew McIntyre. Drew, watch out in there. This could get ugly for you. Something about Chicago is bad luck for the NXT roster tonight. And there's a twisting neck breaker there from Drew McIntyre trying to take control again, but Chainsaw Charlie reverses out. McIntyre reverses his sprint into a power slam, throwing him down to the mat, getting some offense going on. And he's got a camel clutch locked in, but rope break there. Charlie gets up with a punch. McIntyre reverses again, going after Chainsaw Charlie's arm here. He's got this arm lock applied for the third time already in this very young match. And Chainsaw is on the mat. He's not near the ropes. He's going to need to break out of this one himself. And he does, wrapping his legs around into a jawbreaker, hitting McIntyre down. Good reversal, but McIntyre, still aware of his surroundings, pokes Chainsaw in the eye and gets back up. We reset the match, ladies and gentlemen. And there's Drew with a nice big punch to the back of the head. And he's got another little camel clutch worked in. Chainsaw trying to crawl into the ropes. He's got his right arm free, and he's in the ropes, breaking the hold. Drew McIntyre just inflicting pain at this point. Here we go again with the arm lock. But it looks like Charlie again is in the ropes after the toss there. And he reverses right into a running DDT to Drew McIntyre. And there's another DDT, one after the other. Speaking of concussions, my God. And there's Drew McIntyre with another power slam. We see the same 4 moves over and over again in this match. That's how you can tell it's a grudge match, ladies and gentlemen. And now McIntyre with Charlie up on his shoulders. Charlie elbows him in the head and gets out. And McIntyre with another power slam as Charlie runs at him into a knee drop. Charlie on the mat. McIntyre signaling for him to get up. This looks like it's a perfect setup for a Future Shock. There it is, Future Shock DDT. McIntyre flips him over on the mat. He's going to drag him toward the center. This could be an early pinfall. 1, 2. Oh, 2 count. Chainsaw Charlie does manage to kick out. I know who that is. You don't. And there we go, twisting the arm around. Drew McIntyre runs at Charlie into a runaround German suplex, throwing him across the ring into the corner. Stalks out his prey. And there's a knee drop to the back of the head. And now Chainsaw Charlie reverses out, goes for a jab, but misses. Drew McIntyre in control. Side headlock. Working from behind now. Twists him around into a side headlock. But Charlie gets into his own headlock. And McIntyre reverses into an atomic drop there. And he misses a clothesline completely. But he takes control again, working on the arm of Chainsaw Charlie, who then reverses around. We've got chain wrestling here at its best. Drew McIntyre from behind. And there's a Russian leg sweep to the much older Chainsaw Charlie, sending him back first into the mat. Goes to drag him by the foot, but Charlie kicks out, runs at him again, and there's a running DDT. This time he gets it, no power slam. And now from behind, Charlie with punches to the side of Drew McIntyre's head and throws him back down to the mat. McIntyre punches him in the gut and gets up. Chainsaw looking to initiate a grapple. Scoop slam, old school wrestling there, but he hits it clean and perfect. And here we go, more punches to the side of the face while McIntyre is down. Charlie, definitely from Texas. Oh, but there's a huge clothesline from Drew McIntyre. Charlie falls down to the mat. McIntyre follows it up with a couple of knee drops. McIntyre held that NXT championship for so long because of the way that he wrestles. Nobody else in NXT can match up with him, and he only lost it in a triple threat match with Jimmy Uso snuck away with the win. He knows that he is one of the best wrestlers in NXT, one of the best mat technicians here, and he's just got to prove that. But he's getting sidetracked by this thing with Chainsaw Charlie right now, and you got to think he's using up all his positive aggression here. And it's a distraction that's letting Jimmy Uso maintain his title. He's got another arm lock applied on that left arm of Chainsaw Charlie, but Charlie fights his way out again. The man known for being resilient. You can't make him submit. It's just not going to happen. Oh, and there's Charlie working around on the leg. Speaking of submissions, his little leg loop-de-loo lariat here. Holding it in. That knee on Drew McIntyre shot right now. Chainsaw Charlie saluting to the crowd. McIntyre's up. Charlie's got his head between his legs. This is going to be the Texas Pile Driver. Slowly, slowly. There it is. Texas Pile Driver indeed. The crowd is going wild. They want nothing more than to see Drew McIntyre lose. They hate him. They love it. Chainsaw Charlie is old enough to be their grandfather and can still wrestle better than this young lion here. Now Drew got himself out of the ring and came back in to avoid the pinfall, but Charlie is still in control after an inverted atomic drop there. Pin 1, just a 1 count. Drew McIntyre kicks out. It's going to take more than that. And to Drew McIntyre's submission credit, Chainsaw Charlie is holding his arm, but now Drew is bleeding after a bulldog. The head has taken a lot of damage here after those DDTs. I don't know where Drew thinks he's going to get by working on the arm of Chainsaw Charlie, but Charlie is still able to use that arm pretty proficiently with an elbow drop from the injured arm right there. Drew McIntyre fights his way out, though. Now Chainsaw Charlie is staggered. Drew gets him up on his shoulders, but Charlie again elbows his way out. And Drew reverses a running attack into another power slam. Drew could be coming back into this now. Blood dripping down from his forehead. Goes for a pin. Not even a 1 count. Chainsaw Charlie kicks out. Collar and elbow tie up here in the center of the ring. Chainsaw Charlie working from behind. And it's going to be another inverted atomic drop. Single leg. That right knee of Drew McIntyre. All the pressure in the world coming down on it. And there's a stomp to the hamstring from Chainsaw Charlie. Misses a stomp to the gut. But he gets a jab to the face there, and he's completely in control here. You got to think one more pile driver, and this match is over. And we have not a fluke victory, but now a trending victory over Drew McIntyre. But Drew, not okay with that. Getting into a German suplex there. Dragging Chainsaw Charlie toward the center of the ring. Pinfall, 1. Just a 1 count. Chainsaw Charlie kicks out immediately after. And there's a big running DDT from Charlie again. He's looking to build momentum one more time. Get one last run here and win this match. And there's Chainsaw Charlie twisting around on the leg again. That right knee of Drew McIntyre. It's going to be completely useless after this match. And he can't move. He can't move. He's getting up. He's favoring that right leg. Charlie flips him around. This is going to be another Texas pile driver. He's got him up. Timber. There it is. One more pile driver right to the crown of the head of Drew McIntyre, the former NXT champion. Chainsaw Charlie could be on his own way to that belt, but now McIntyre again aware and rolls out of the ring. Charlie misses a shoulder block into the ropes, but he's got another big scoop slam on McIntyre, throwing him down to the mat. And we've got a rope-assisted pin here from Charlie. 1. Just a 1 count, and Drew manages to kick out. One more power slam from Drew McIntyre. The crowd's getting into it. The match is picking up pace. We got to be coming to some kind of a conclusion here any minute now. And there's another big bulldog from Chainsaw Charlie to Drew McIntyre. He goes for the pin. 1. Just a 1 count again, and McIntyre kicks out. This is where his youth is coming into play, and he reverses into a German suplex there. Now McIntyre, the first one to his feet, dragging him, Chainsaw Charlie, to the center of the ring. Pinfall. 1, 2, 3 after the German suplex. Nobody saw that coming. Chainsaw Charlie, his resilience fails him. Drew McIntyre wins by pinfall after a surprise German suplex, and these two wrestled a very, very good match here on NXT. High octane, start to finish, focusing in on body parts, very technical, very sound, and Drew McIntyre just ended up coming out on top despite 2 Texas pile drivers from the man we know as Terry Funk, Chainsaw Charlie. Unbelievable match. But it was those power slams at the end that I think really weakened Chainsaw Charlie. Too many running attacks that he's just not fast enough to hit on the young guys. And Drew McIntyre capitalized with high-impact reversals every time. And here he is, Drew McIntyre, blood on his head. He doesn't care. He's fired up. That's a big win. It gets the monkey off his back after losing to Chainsaw Charlie the week earlier. And it gets him, hopefully, some positive momentum looking to go after Jimmy Uso for that NXT championship that, frankly, this universe would probably prefer neither of these two bad guys hold at this point. But revel in the victory, ladies and gentlemen. Drew McIntyre, your winner in the 4th match of the evening. Well, and here we are, the finale of the evening, match number 5. The Chicago crowd better get ready for this. A steel cage match between Gangrel and Via Viaquez. This is going to be a doozy. We've got Gangrel, your internet champion. And we've got Via Viaquez, the high-flying Mexican newcomer, the Black Bat. El Murcielago Negro. This is going to be a big-time grudge match. These two started their little bit of a grudge immediately after the WWE's last pay-per-view. The first NXT afterward, they were in a tag team match together as partners against the team of Drew McIntyre and Scotty 2 Hotty, I apologize. And while they won that match, Gangrel, the new internet champion at the time, had something to prove and decided that he needed to show the world that he was better than his relatively unknown partner. They've been involved in a series of matches since then, and this steel cage main event looks to be the main event in that rivalry. It could very well be the last one they fight against each other, because someone may not be leaving this in one piece given the way this night has gone. Now, into the cage we go here. Gangrel, longtime WWE veteran, the man who infamously was the first person to hold the Internet Championship from NXT and lose his match at a major WWE pay-per-view, losing in a submission match to the returning Undertaker at this year's SummerSlam event, came back as the Internet Champion. And the rest is history. Via Viaquez making his debut shortly after SummerSlam, a high flyer, smaller, more athletic, relatively unknown, a man whose story we don't know much about. We know that there was a son at some point along the road. We know that he was a very famous luchador within Mexico, and he was trying to train this son to follow in his footsteps. And then there were rumors of the son's untimely death, and there were rumors that it was the father's fault. And that's when Via Viaquez left Mexico and started traveling across America. The rumor has it that general manager Stephanie McMahon found him in an illegal fight club just outside of Juarez, brought him into America, gave him a contract, and taught him not to kill people when he fights them. And he's been here ever since, supposedly looking for his son that he killed. So, not really sure what his deal is. We are sure that he has shown tremendous athleticism in his matches here at NXT so far, and Gangrel kind of resents that, as Via Viaquez has pulled a few matches away from the Vampire. This one in the cage may be catered to Via Viaquez's personal style. We have to see what happens here. But into the match itself, Gangrel working from behind. They're in the corner. Big time back suplex right there. Gangrel working hard on him, throws Via Viaquez across into the turnbuckle and follows him, but he misses a shoulder block. Viaquez with a dropkick to the chest on his vulnerable opponent. Great little bit of speed there from the newcomer. Collar and elbow tie-up. The Masked Man and the Vampire. The Vampire comes out on top into a headlock. And there's a snap suplex into the corner. His feet hit the ropes on the way down. Now Gangrel whipping him into the ropes across the ring. Huge clothesline, knocking Via Viaquez right down to the mat. Gangrel all strength on that one, using his size advantage to his advantage right now. And there's Via Viaquez with a big-time Frankensteiner to Gangrel. Gangrel gets up, though, punches out, reverses, punching him in the face several times. Via Viaquez twisting the arm around. Gangrel twisting the arm around into a side headlock. And another snap suplex from Gangrel. Very technical so far. And Via Viaquez with the cage here, can't get away. Oh, and a big double underhook belly-to-belly there from Gangrel. And he spits blood into the air. Something big is coming up here. And there's the Impaler DDT, sending Via Viaquez face first into the mat. Gangrel heading for the cage. He's starting his climb. He's going to get pretty high up there. Viaquez doesn't get up soon. Come on, Via. Come on, Via, get up. Gangrel almost to the top. Via across the ring, holding his head. But wait, Via Viaquez is climbing up right at the last minute. Gangrel straddling the cage. He seems to be stuck. Viaquez has him by the waist. Huge backdrop off the top of the cage. Both men down. Viaquez immediately back on his feet, though. Gangrel taking the entire impact. And a big running bulldog from Via Viaquez, sending Gangrel face first into the mat there. Now Via is completely in control of this match. Gangrel staggered. Another big running bulldog into the corner of the ring. Gangrel completely at Via's disposal here. Knee drop right to the face. Now Gangrel is up, but Via hits him with a flying shoulder block. Kind of misses a flipping leg drop there. Gets the second one right into the gut, heel first. Now Via Viaquez is climbing, and he's going to be a fast one. Gangrel immediately on it, wrenching him down by the legs. And now Gangrel with an elbow to the back of the head of Via Viaquez. Kick to the gut there, into a DDT. Viaquez springs up, and he is bleeding through his purple mask. And now Gangrel stomping him while he's down. Huge spinning heel kick from Gangrel. Who knew the big man could leap like that? There's some more blood being spit into the air as blood is pouring out of a wound in Viaquez's face. And there's another big-time kick into a DDT from Gangrel, working on the head of Via Viaquez. Now working on the leg, a stomp to the hamstring. Viaquez is down, but he kicks Gangrel right in the groin. little bit of a dirty move there from the new Mexican superstar, the Luchador. There's a flapjack into an elbow drop to the back from Gangrel. Misses the club there, but there's another double underhook belly to belly from Gangrel from out of nowhere. And he's standing over Villa Villaquez once more. He spits more blood into the air. Villa is staggered. Gangrel, another impaler DDT, inbound right there. Face first, down goes Villa Villaquez. Gangrel is hitting the cage. He's going to get out of here as fast as he can. That's got to be it. I'm pretty sure Villa Villaquez is down and out at this point. Gangrel is almost up at the top. Wait, Villa Villaquez is on his feet. He's going for him. Oh my god, Villa Villaquez is going to catch him again. Gangrel can't get over the cage. He's got him by the waist one more time, and they're both down again. Another big backdrop, and Villaquez is up, and now Villaquez is on the cage. Gangrel is convulsing in the ring, and Villa Villaquez is escaping the cage. Seconds after Gangrel was on the verge of leaving. Villa Villaquez is up top. He's got the second leg over. Villa Villaquez wins. He has left the cage. He completely wins. He just had to touch the floor. Gangrel's up and there's nothing he can do. Villaquez is down. Villa Villaquez wins. He beats Gangrel in a steel cage match. In error, I said that Gangrel was our internet champion. He no longer is. Villa Villaquez wins against the non-internet champion Gangrel. Unbelievable match. Unbelievable turn of events at the finish. Not enough can be said about the excitement that was brought on by the end of that main event. And that's going to bring us off the air here in Chicago this evening. Thank you for joining us for NXT. The next time we see you, we'll have a little bit of some AWA action from the AWA Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa. But for now, for NXT, for the Usos and Epico and Primo, and Drew McIntyre's bloody forehead, and Grandmaster Sexay's concussion, and Mark Henry's beast mode attack on Epico. This is your commentator, Rausch Games, signing off from NXT. We'll see you next time, guys.